I opened the hotel suite door and froze. Her laugh was the first thing I heard. Low, breathy, familiar. Then I saw him in our bed with her. My maid of honor. My best friend. They didn't even notice me at first. The champagne bottle from last night sat half empty on the nightstand. The white silk sheets tangled around their bodies like a crime scene. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I simply closed the door halfway, stepped into the hallway, and dialed his mother's number. Backstory. Before the fall, I met Daniel 3 years ago at a charity gala. He wore a navy suit and that arrogant smile that somehow didn't make you hate him. He made me laugh in a way I hadn't in years. We built a life together. He proposed under a snowfall in Paris. I said yes without hesitation. And Claire, she was my anchor, long before Daniel came into the picture. The kind of friend who would hold your hair back when you were sick and still roast you about it later. She was supposed to stand next to me today, smiling as I said I do. We were the perfect trio, or so I thought. Discovery of betrayal. The cracks appear. The first sign was the late-night texts. He said they were work-related. She said she was talking to someone new. Then at my bridal shower, I caught them exchanging a glance a half-second too long. My stomach told me the truth before my brain did. But I didn't confront them. Not yet. 2 weeks before the wedding, I checked his phone while he was in the shower. Her name wasn't there. She was under Aaron. What I read made my blood run cold. They hadn't just been sleeping together. They were planning to be together after the wedding. After he secured access to my trust fund, I closed the phone and smiled like I hadn't just been gutted. Shift in mindset. The plan forms. I could have walked away then, but walking away would have let them win quietly. And quiet wasn't what I wanted. I wanted an audience. I wanted him to choke on the truth in front of every person whose approval he craved. So I called my lawyer. We rewrote the prenup quietly 3 days before the wedding. He didn't read it. He just signed where I pointed. It stated that if he was caught cheating before or during the marriage, he'd walk away with nothing, not even the watch on his wrist. Then I called the hotel manager and arranged for my suite to have a second adjoining room, one I could fill with the exact people I needed when the moment came. Execution. Setting the trap. On the morning of the wedding, I pretended everything was perfect. I had Claire with me in the bridal suite, sipping mimosas, while hair and makeup fussed over us. Daniel texted me that he was heading to his room to clear his head. I excused myself 20 minutes before the ceremony, saying I needed to practice my vows alone. Instead, I walked to Daniel's suite. I didn't expect them to be so careless, but there they were, skin against skin, my wedding day lingerie discarded on the floor. I stepped back into the hallway and called his parents, then his brother, then his grandmother, but every person already dressed for the ceremony. Every relative who had flown in from out of state. I need you all to come to Daniel's suite, I said, voice steady. There's something you should see before the wedding. Climax. The fall. 5 minutes later, the hallway outside his room was lined with family, confusion and curiosity painted on their faces. I didn't knock. I opened the door wide, stood aside, and let them all file in. Gasps. Silence. Daniel scrambled off the bed, stammering, reaching for words that wouldn't come. Claire clutched the sheets to her chest, eyes wide. I didn't raise my voice. Daniel, I said, I'd like you to explain to your grandmother why the woman who was supposed to stand next to me at the altar is in your bed instead. His father's face turned crimson. His mother covered her mouth. His grandmother began to cry. Then I reached into my clutch and pulled out a thin envelope. This, I said, holding it out, is the updated prenup you signed. You might want to read the highlighted part. He opened it. His eyes flicked over the words, and then the color drained from his face. His father snatched it from his hands and read aloud the clause. In the event of infidelity, prior to or during the marriage, the party at fault forfeits all rights to shared property, assets, and financial support. I turned to his family. So, there will be no wedding, but there will be a press release, should anyone ask why. And if you want to know who leaked the text messages and hotel security footage to the bridal party, I looked at Claire. It was me. Resolution. The last word. No one spoke. Daniel stood there naked, but for his shame, while his entire family avoided his eyes. I walked to the door, heels clicking on the polished floor, and paused.